The U.S. Air Force is preparing for a war in the Pacific, a war defined by massive distances and vanishing runways. For decades, the plan was to rely on the C-130 Hercules. But Pentagon planners have just realized a terrifying truth. The C-130 is too slow to survive modern missiles, and it lacks the legs to cross the ocean without stopping. While Lockheed Martin was polishing a 1950s design, Brazil built a jet specifically designed to humiliate the Hercules. It's faster, it carries more, and it just stole America's closest allies. This isn't just a new plane, it is a warning shot at the U.S. military-industrial complex. For 60 years, the C-130 defined tactical airlift. It was rugged, reliable, and owned the market. But legends get old. The C-130 is a turboprop in a jet age. Its top speed is stuck around 410 mph. In the Middle East, that was fine. But in the Pacific, against Chinese PL-15 missiles, slow means dead. The distances in the Pacific are so vast that the C-130's lack of speed isn't just an inconvenience, it's a tactical failure. This uncomfortable truth is what Pentagon planners are facing, especially when looking at the next great challenge, a potential conflict in the Pacific. American strategy, known as Agile Combat Employment, AC, calls for spreading forces across small, remote island airfields to avoid creating one large, juicy target. In this scenario, the ability to rapidly move troops, fuel, and supplies between these islands is the key to survival. And this is where the Hercules starts to show its age. The C-130J is a turboprop, a design with roots in the 1950s. In a missile-saturated environment, every hour spent in the air is an hour spent as a potential target. In the vast chessboard of the Pacific, speed is life. An aircraft that's too slow can't reposition assets or escape threats effectively. This is the problem that decades of dominance creates. When you have the market cornered, the incentive to radically innovate fades. Lockheed Martin has made incremental improvements to the C-130, but the basic platform is the same. The military-industrial complex, comfortable with a proven product, has been slow to recognize that the nature of war has changed. They've been polishing a legend, while a challenger from Brazil was busy building its replacement. That challenger is the Embraer C-390 Millennium. Born from Brazil's booming aerospace industry, the C-390 is a complete rethinking of what a tactical airlifter should be. Embraer, best known for its successful regional jets, looked at the C-130's dominance and saw an opportunity, a gap for a modern aircraft designed from a clean sheet for 21st century demands. Work began in the mid-2000s with a clear goal: combine the toughness of a military transport with the speed and efficiency of a modern jet. Instead of turboprops, Embraer went with two powerful IAE V2500 E5 turbofan engines, the same family of engines that power commercial airliners like the Airbus A320. It was a choice that would completely change the game for maintenance, reliability, and cost. But the C-390 isn't just a C-130 with jet engines strapped on, it's a total overhaul. It features a modern, full fly-by-wire flight control system, which reduces pilot workload and allows for incredible precision, like when refueling helicopters at low speeds. Its cockpit is a fully digital, glass panel environment from Rockwell Collins, designed for the data-rich battlefields of the future. The whole aircraft was engineered with a commercial airline maintenance philosophy that focuses on reliability and reduces time-consuming overhauls, which means the planes are in the air more often. After its first flight in 2015, the C-390 entered service with the Brazilian Air Force in 2019 and was ready to challenge the status quo. Embraer didn't just build an aircraft, they built an argument. They argued that tactical airlift didn't have to be slow, and that air forces shouldn't have to rely on a 70-year-old design. They bet that modern militaries facing modern threats would be ready for a change. That bet is now paying off. When you put the Embraer C-390 and the Lockheed C-130J side by side, the differences are staggering. This isn't about small improvements, it's a generational leap. Let's look at the speed. The C-390 cruises at 540 mph, Mach 0.8. The C-130J struggles to hit 410 mph. That sounds like just a number, but in a war, that is the difference between delivering ammo and getting back to base, or getting caught by an interceptor while you slowly crawl home. The C-390 buys the crew time. The C-130 costs them time. The C-390's jet engines also let it fly higher, at up to 36,000 feet, often getting it above weather that would slow down the lower-flying C-130. Next, payload. The C-390 can carry a maximum payload of 26 tons. The C-130J maxes out at around 21 tons. That's a significant advantage for the Brazilian jet, allowing it to carry heavier equipment like a Black Hawk helicopter, which the C-130J simply can't. It's not just about carrying more, it's about carrying what matters. The C-390's cargo bay was specifically designed to fit modern military vehicles. When it comes to range, the C-390 is also highly competitive, able to self-deploy across vast oceans without multiple time-consuming stops. Then there's versatility. The C-390 was designed from day one as a true multi-mission platform. Its cargo bay can be reconfigured in under 3 hours to switch from hauling cargo to medical evacuation to aerial refueling as the KC-390 tanker, or even to firefighting. The KC-390 variant is especially notable. As a jet, it can refuel fast movers like the F-35 at their ideal speed and altitude, a task that is inefficient for the slower C-130 tanker. Finally, there's cost and reliability. This is where Embraer's use of commercial off-the-shelf parts, especially those V2500 engines, pays off big time. With thousands of these engines in service on commercial jets, spare parts and mechanics are everywhere and relatively cheap. The C-390 has 2 modern engines to maintain, while the C-130J has 4 older design turboprops. This leads to lower fuel burn, lower maintenance costs, and higher availability. The Brazilian Air Force has reported an operational availability of around 80% and a mission completion rate above 99%. Impressive figures for a new military aircraft. These numbers mean fewer breakdowns, more time in the air, and a better return on investment. The C-390's superiority isn't just a debate on paper. It's a reality playing out across the globe in deals that represent a direct challenge to the American standard. For decades, if a NATO country needed a new tactical airlifter, the C-130 was the automatic choice. Buying American was a sign of alliance, but that era seems to be ending. One by one, some of America's closest allies are choosing the Brazilian C-390 over the American C-130J. Portugal, a NATO founding member, was first, receiving their aircraft in 2023. Then came Hungary, another NATO ally. But the most stunning verdict came from the Netherlands. When they did the math on replacing their old fleet, the result was a humiliation for Lockheed Martin. The Dutch Ministry of Defense calculated that they would need 5 C-130Js to meet their mission requirements. But because the Brazilian jet breaks down less often and flies faster, they could do the exact same job with only 4 C-390s. Read that again. The cheaper American plane is actually so inefficient that you have to buy more of them to get the work done. A formal contract was signed in July 2024. The dominoes kept falling. Austria, the Czech Republic, and Sweden have all selected the C-390. And in a major win, South Korea, a key U.S. ally in the Pacific, also chose the C-390 in late 2023 after her direct competition, becoming its first Asian customer. Each of these decisions signals a larger shift. It's a vote of no confidence in America's legacy platform. Allies are signaling that, while political ties matter, they will no longer accept a technologically inferior solution out of habit. They're choosing innovation over incumbency. Embraer, for its part, is playing smart. Recognizing the Buy American hurdles of the U.S. market, they initially formed a partnership with American defense contractor L3Harris to pitch a U.S.-built version of the C-390 called the Agile tanker. While that partnership has since dissolved, Embraer remains determined to enter the U.S. market. The move positions the C-390 to fill a critical gap, as the Air Force's own plan for a next-generation airlifter, the NGAS program, is still largely on the drawing board and likely more than a decade away from producing a real aircraft. The C-390 is available now. The rise of the Embraer C-390 Millennium is more than the story of a great airplane. It's a warning. It's a clear signal that the era of American technological inevitability is over. For too long, the U.S. military-industrial complex has operated with a dangerous complacency, content to polish legacy systems while the rest of the world innovated. The C-390 exposes this complacency in stark terms. It's faster, carries more, and is cheaper to operate than its American rival. It's better suited for the logistical nightmare of a potential Pacific conflict. Its growing list of international customers, including some of America's staunchest allies, is proof of its compelling design. The United States Air Force now faces a difficult choice. It can stick with the venerable but vulnerable C-130 Hercules, a legend that may be past its prime. It can wait more than a decade for a hypothetical next-gen solution that may never come. Or it can look at what its own allies are doing and admit that the best solution for America's urgent airlift needs might not have been invented in America. The success of the C-390 is the wake-up call the Pentagon needs. It's a lesson that in the 21st century, innovation and speed will win out over legacy and lobbying. The question is no longer if the C-130 has been surpassed. The question is whether the U.S. Air Force has the courage to admit it. What do you think? Is the C-390 the new king of tactical airlift? Has the C-130's time finally passed? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below.